So I'd love for you to tell the people, why education was so important to you, and then more importantly, how you've used that to where you are today.
I started learning about insurance. If you were poor and you didn't have good insurance, then you were treated this way. If you
Mhm.
needed pain medicine, you got placebos. If you had money, you got the real stuff. And I said, you know what? Let me shut this
Welcome to
down.
the epicenter of transformation. This is Mick Unplugged.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Mick Unplugged, where we go deeper than your why to find out your because. And today, we're going from promise to purpose. We're going from the streets to the suites. We are talking to Baltimore's finest, Baltimore's empress. You probably seen her on American Gangster Trap Queen, season 3, episode 4. We're talking about a lady who changed her life after being in prison in the drug game. We're talking to the one and only Miss Shontel Greene. Here's what's amazing for those that don't know Shontel, right? When most people think, all right, 14 years old, I'm going to start dealing drugs, I'm going to start doing this and doing that. School kind of goes, yeah, I'll go there if I need to. Shontel was a straight A student. Chantel, right? Not just the trap queen. Chantel was using this up here as well too, and not necessarily for the streets, but for your own benefit. So I love for you to tell the people, why education was so important to you, and then more importantly, how you've used that to where you are today.
Really, going to school was my outlet. I was quiet in school because I didn't want my teachers to realize, what I was doing on the outside.
Mm.
So school was like, I loved it because I knew I was smarter than most. And I was so quiet and laid back when the teachers would say, one person got 100, one person got 100, one person. I knew it was me. And then my teachers actually started to notice me because of my high grades. And then I would sleep in school all day because I'm
Mm.
hanging out all night hustling. So my one professor, she was my English teacher, and she couldn't understand how I could sleep all day through class but get hundreds and A's and had the best papers. And so one day I called her going, she was coming to my house to talk to my mother. Oh God. And I was pulling up in a car and I was too young to drive. So I had to tell her, I had to tell her what was going on. And I like, you can't, you can't tell because they're gonna take me away from my mother. My grandmother gonna find out. So she kind of adapted me. And she even, believe it or not, got me a job with the government. I remember she got me a job, Social Security Administration, stay in school program. But making the money I was making on the street and then going to Social Security, they taking out state, federal, FICA, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I, I remember I got that little check and I was just like, I got my mother bills, my little bills, my hat fam. So it didn't last, but I just love school. I love chemistry, and I just went every day. I always won the spelling bees. I always won the math competition. People would call me nerds, but they didn't know I had a dark side to it.
Mm.
So
Mm.
eventually I made it. I graduated from high school and I started taking some college classes because I'm getting old, I'm making more money. I'm still in the streets, I'm making more money. And by then, I actually bought my first single family home with a swimming pool, 2-car garage, and a movie theater at the age of 22.
Okay.
Cash.
Mm.
So I wasn't really focused on school because now I'm starting to see money can move mountains. But then I had to do my smart side because I love my grandmother so much. And I know all she wanted me to do was finish college. So I went to college a little bit, but then I got in trouble. And that, me getting in trouble saved my life because I wound up getting a judge and I was supposed to walk in there and get 15 to 20 years. And my lawyer showed him my grades. So my jail sentence was 2 years of incarceration. However, I could go to school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but I had to stay in jail Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm.
And I did that for 2 years, and I graduated with my associate's degree. And then I had to get permission from the state of Maryland to become a nurse because I had a record then, kind of a bad record. So I wound up getting my associate's degree, got permission to become a nurse, but I'm still kind of dipping and dabbing in the streets because even when I became a nurse, I think I was making like 20 something dollars an hour. But when you make $80,000 in a weekend to 20 something dollars an hour, like I had 2 cars, I had a house, a boat. Like,
Right.
come on, that's not enough. But
Hmm.
then my mother wound up dying from AIDS. I promised her on her deathbed I would become a doctor. She she had started getting so bad off. I didn't even think she recognized me or what I done. On her deathbed, my mother said, I need you to get out them streets and I need you to be a doctor because you smart enough. She said, and I loved you all this time. And she reached behind her as high as she got. She always paid her life insurance policy. She gave me $100,000 insurance policy. She said, I don't care what you do with it, but don't do no street stuff with it and take care of your grandmother. And that was the last day I ever hustled.
Mm.
I had to make $100,000 work in my $27 hour job, but I
But you
did it.
did. You did
Yeah.
it. Shontel, what I love about all of that is because I can resonate with that. And, one of my keynote speeches, I call it From Promise to Purpose, A Mother's Love. And that's exactly what you just did, right? So your mom made you promise to her, right? And then that became your because. And on our show, we talk about going deeper than your why, and it's all about your because. And I would like to think that at that time, your because was fulfilling a promise, right? And maybe you didn't know how you were going to do it because there are a lot of times, and for everybody that's watching, I want you to understand it's okay to make promises that you don't know how you're going to keep them, but you're
But
going to keep them,
you gotta
right?
keep because
Right?
they become inspiration. I inspire my own self, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what I learned? Like life is so many lessons because I watched how my mother was treated having AIDS. She was treated very bad. Like when people realized what she had, and that was my purpose. Let me make a difference. And then I started learning about insurance. If you were poor and you didn't have good insurance, then you were treated this way. If you
Mhm.
needed pain medicine, you got placebos. If you had money, you got the real stuff. And I said, you know what? Let me shut this down. So I went back. I got my bachelor's degree. And they was still like, bachelor's, it mean the world to me, but to some people, it's just like, okay. So I said, all
Mhm.
right, I'm gonna fuck them up this time. I went back and got 2 masters, one in nursing and one in chemistry. If you can do both of them at the same time, you a bad motherfucker. Excuse my language.
Let's go. Let's go.
So I got my master's in nursing and then chemistry. And then I wanted to stop. And then I said, you know what? One more time. So I actually just finished at LaSalle University. I just completed the Doctor of Nurse Practice program. So I got to take my test, but I'm a DNP. But once I take my test, I'll be able to write my prescriptions and like really see my patients and diagnose and treat, and which I probably won't do, but I promise my mother I will. So
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And Chantel, you've won so many awards and so many publications and articles about you. What are you the most proud of right now?
uh, it's not really the awards that make me proud. I'm gonna tell you what make me proud. When I walk in these hospitals and the doctors look at me like I'm God. Every doctor in Maryland want to be a part of my team.
Mm,
And I'm like, you a doctor and you know little old me. They like, you the healthcare queen. I'm
that's
trying to
right.
get on your team. So it's just like I really learned. I think I was a monster when I was in the streets, but I really learned how to love and care about people. The elderly population is really my population. Like, I love the elderly people. I just they teach me so much. Like, the
Yeah.
elderly people know everything. Like, I got
Hmm.
an old man, he's 99 years old. We've been playing chess for 3 years now. He can't beat me and I can't beat him.
Wow.
That's just telling me he is so wise. And then I say, well, why do you think I can't beat you and you can't beat me? He said, because you were raised to watch your opponents move. He said, you know the game of life. And
That's
like
it.
little acronyms like that. And just when I come around, like I have over 1,000 patients in Maryland. Everyone I'm called my phone. Like, I'm not conceited because I have this or have that. Every patient I have had my phone number. I told them I don't care what time it is. If y'all feel a certain kind of way, y'all call me. I get in my car. I go to my patients. What y'all need. Some of them don't want to go to the hospital. Get in my car. I'm taking you. And I'm just hands on with everything. So that's what makes me proud. And when my patients see me, like, the reaction when I come, they just so happy. Like,
Mm, mm.
so that's what makes me proud of me, that I can make a difference with others.
There you go. There you go. And
That's it.
Chantel, we're gonna get real right now too, because I know, that street hustle is one hustle. But
Yeah.
then you started a business, you're an entrepreneur now, right? In the healthcare world, so dealing with the government on a whole other side and
Oh
dealing with
God.
politics. Let's talk about that hustle. Cause I think a lot of people, because I'm a business owner too, I think a lot of people think that being a business owner, yeah, it's challenging, but there's a lot of reward, a lot of success. And that is very true, except
It's
there's
a
a
dark
whole
side.
lot of work. There's a whole lot of movement. There's a whole lot of hustling that has to happen before you can actually say that you can see that success. Not only get the success, but to see the success. So I'd love for you to talk about that new hustle.
So my new hustle, it took me years to learn. I had to apply my street dealings with this hustle. So it's different. Like, you got everybody with letters, the IRS, these people, the um, OACQ, Office of Healthcare Quality. It's all these different letters that I deal with.
Hmm.
The, the sad part about me, I had to make my story known, because when I used to go in certain places, everybody would whisper who I was. So that's what made me do Trap Queens. I'm tired of hiding who I am.
Yeah.
I got turned down for jobs because they would go on the internet and Google my name. So I had to make it public, like, this is what I used to do, but now my motto has changed. Now in the business world, it's the same. But I think because I came out with my story that people thought they knew, it's better for me. But like I said, it's still the IRS, of course. They always in me, in my business. And then I had a family member I trusted that embezzled $1.8 million from my company.
Mm,
So that had kind of got a federal lawsuit involved, where I had to pay the feds $160,000, but they found out it wasn't me. I had to hire a retired FBI agent to find out the cyber who it was. So it's like it's the same game, but this business is a little harder than the streets. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm telling you, people think, and you and I talked before, right? And you told me you were like, Mick,
God,
streets was easy. Right? Streets
this
was easy.
business, you got to
Right?
be
You just
on
had to look out. You had to know where your moves were, right?
right.
Because you could plan, like in this world, especially for you, because I'm not even in the healthcare world. I mean, there's so many things that are ever changing, and we're in a political season, right?
Uh,
We're in an election season, so now you really have to worry about things because depending on, and I don't mean this one way or the other, but laws
all
change depending on who's in the office, right? And,
right.
and so you have to plan for that too. And that's something that a lot of folks don't understand, especially in your world, that election season at the federal and the local level is hard for you, right? Or not hard, but you got to look out for
It's hard period. Because I advocate. I do a lot of advocating. The thing with my city, the mayor, and I love little Brandon. They kind of like look around me. They let me do what I want, but they look around me, look over top of me. because they seen my work. Like
Mm.
I had an elderly client live in a senior community, and her elevator was broke for 20 days.
Wow.
So she called me. She said, Shontel, my elevator been broke for 20 days. We can't get out here to get food or nothing. So I grabbed all my vans and we went to the market and we got them food and we took, but I made how? I said, y'all got one day to fix this elevator or I'm gonna be all over the place. So they fixed the elevator the next day. Once I called and said my thing, so they know I do that type of stuff. Like
Mm.
some elderly people were about to lose their house. They called me like, our water bills are excessive. Like, please help us. And they 88, 89, 90 years old on fixed incomes.
Yep.
So I found the plumbing company. I said, look, I'm doing this out of my pocket. Can y'all help me? I need to get these people some galvanized pipes.
Yep.
And he did it for, I think it was 13 houses. He did it for me for $10,000.
Wow.
And he donated the rest. And then the city wiped their water bills off. So they know I get busy when it comes to the elderly people. But
Yep.
they just, they like, she's a former queen pin. We can't really have her in the forefront, but we know she helps. So give her what she needs. So I'm cool with that.
There you go.
They give me what I need, but they keep me out the spotlight. Cool.
Baltimore's finest, Baltimore's empress. What are a couple of things you want people to know about you now, or what do you have going on? What's coming up next? Well, let's give Shontel Greene the spotlight that she deserves right now.
So right now they are working on my movie. It's called Mastermind, the Shontel Greene story, from the streets to the suites. And it kind of it's my true story. It's my story, and it kind of gives you the insight of everything I went through, how I got where I am today, things that I encountered, the business world, the ups and the downs. A lot of people don't know when I was in the streets, I got kidnapped really bad. I was in the trunk and helicopter pull up. My OnStar to my car came up. They was about to blow my head off and the helicopter pulled up. So you'll see all of that like in my movie. It'll tell everything I went through. And I was a teenager. So, my struggles with mental health because I've seen a lot of people die and, so I understand. You'll see business is not as easy. Everybody think they can open a business, they're going to make a bunch of money. 15 years, I think it took me to see $1.
I'm telling you,
And then you
it's
give
a
so
grind
much.
every day.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's a hustle. This the military up in here. You lace your boots and you got to chase it.
That's right.
And you give a lot of it away. So it's like, but it's a good feeling. I ain't looking over my back. I don't have to look over my shoulders. I'm legit. So, God freed me from that life. So I'm just happy, that I can make change. And I hope I'm an inspiration to the younger people because when we make mistakes, we think that's it for us. We don't think we can change because I was one of those. I thought I was too bad to change. And then one day when my mother died and I prayed, I really realized it was a God because I never believed in God because why would you give my mother AIDS? Why would you do this? But I realized it was a God. And, if I can help one person, 2 people, 3 people, I'm happy with that.
That's what it's about. And I'm going back to that promise that you made, right? Like you fulfilled a promise with purpose. And not only did it change your life, because I think you realized that, but you've inspired so many other people and you changed thousands of people's lives, Chantel. So I want to applaud you for that, just for the change maker that you are, because I don't care what community you come from, we need change makers in this world today. And so Shontel Greene is a change maker. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for being the human that you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so for everyone, Shontel Greene, just Google the name, right? Like Shontel can say this. Just Google me. Just Google me. If you want to know where she's at, just Google her. Right. But I'll have links to everything that she has. So her book, From the Streets to the Suites, an amazing book. Her website, all the philanthropy that she does. And not only that, but then how you can support her and donate to the causes that she stands behind as well too. So for everyone that's listening, for everyone that's watching, Shontel is an amazing human. Again, just go Google search Shontel Greene. You'll see all the things you want to see, but just make sure you're supporting her and everything that she's doing. So Shontel, we appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. We'll have to do this again too. We'll have to do this again too.
Anytime.
This was fun. So I appreciate you. I know Sean has all my contact information. This one I'm going to make my first because I haven't released the one that I recorded. So I'm going to do you as the first TV episode that we have out. So this will be awesome.
Oh, thank you. We're going to nail
it.
We're going to nail it.
That's right. We're going to do that. And then I'll have the audio podcast as well too. So I'll send you everything, but we'll definitely get this going. Sean, thank you for everything as well too.
Oh, thank you. This was wonderful. I thought this was this was just a great conversation. You both seem very relaxed. You both were on point. Shontel, you look amazing. You look amazing too. I thought this was great. Well done. So make sure you let me know the information so we can cross promote it. Okay.
You got it. I'll make sure I send it over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. It looks wonderful. It looks great.
Thanks.
Great job, Shontel.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Mick Unplugged. We hope this episode helps you take the next step toward the extraordinary and launches a revolution in your life. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast, and be sure to check us out on YouTube at Mick Unplugged. Remember, stay empowered, stay inspired, and stay unplugged.